All right, TryHackMe has this lab called Brute. It's a medium level difficulty challenge. I went ahead and started with the port scanning. Basically, 21, 2280, and 3106. These are the four open ports. I also had this more comprehensive scanning to include the versioning and scripts. And let's start with this FTP port. It is FTP 10.10.138.4. We are asked to enter the username, so we can try anonymous user account, and we're not allowed to enter using anonymous account. All right, so SSH requires us to use some credential we haven't had yet. And HTTP server, let's try it, 10.10.138.4. It has this login web page. If I go to source, nothing really extraordinary. We can just try admin, and admin. Don't say so. It is not really giving us the right pair of credentials. My weblaser here shows that we are having this Apache web server on this Ubuntu machine, and PHP is the program language we use. Okay, good. Well, it seems now that based on what we have here, this attack surface is on this MySQL server at port 3306. Nmap has its built-in scripts for different tools. So it also has a series of scripts for MySQL, and we can reach them through user share Nmap script. So let me show them to you first. We can list them out. There are a bunch of Nmap scripts, and if I now go with the MySQL string ones, we have a number of scripts. So out of those scripts, we can try this enum here, which will give us accounts on the MySQL server. So we can try the same nmap tag sc sv, and this time we can go to this MySQL port, and IP address is 10.10.138.138.4, and we will put script as here scr script, and we can use this MySQL enum. Okay, that should work. All right. Well, it shows that those are the usernames, and we know that root is the common admin name for the MySQL server. So what we can do now then is we can get this username and try to brute force it using hydra. So hydra has this syntax where we will be using this root account as username, and we will be using tag p, which means that there are a number of passwords that we will be trying, and the FRAQ.txt gives us a comprehensive data set, and the IP address is 10.10.138.4, and it's a MySQL server. If we do this do this brute force attack, it tells us the password for the root account. And we have to be careful again. This root account is not for the Ubuntu machine. It is for the SQL server, right? What we need to do then is we can go to MySQL and connect the host at 10.10.138.4 and username is root. Is root, and the password is basically Raku, based on what we saw over here. All right. With that, we can enter the MySQL server. What we need to do now is we can look at the databases. So show databases. We need to use semicolon for MySQL commands. So it has 5 databases, and the last one is website. That seems this website data set really includes the username required to enter the web server. So we will need to maybe focus on this website database. So we will say use website. Okay. Now we are on this website database. We can ask the server to show us the tables on this website database. It shows that there's one table, there are 2 tables in website and users. So users is really what we can focus, and we can say select star from users, and it will show us that this username Adrian with this password hash is on the users table. Now we need to decrypt this hash. So let me copy it, and we can now go to this folder that I have here. Okay, we can touch hash, generate a file, and paste it over there, save it. All right, cat hash. That's the hash we have. So we can use John the Ripper to decrypt this hash. So John the Ripper can use, I could say, this RockU database with this hash as it is. Okay. Once we run that, okay, so this is it's not an error message basically. It's the message saying that John is telling us that John already worked on this hash. I did this before I started recording. So what I can do now is then I can go to this pod where John is storing everything. I think the website is, let me remember where it was. Okay, so I can go to CD home Kelly. I think John is where I need to go. All right, and ls. Okay, so John log and John pod. I think if I will remove John pod, it will refresh the memory, and if I run the John the Ripper again, this time it will show me the password. Again, sorry for the confusion, but in my first attempt, it didn't show me the password because it's basically telling me here that it already worked on the password and it is saved in this john.pot file. Now in order to show the password directly here, what I did was I erased this john.pot file, so it reset the memory. So then now in my next attempt, John revealed the password. So this password is basically this is for the username Adrian. Now I can go to the website called TryHackMe and Tiger as I can use as a password. All right. Well, that works. Okay, awesome. So it shows us that your log file is ready for view. So it shows us the logs um, for that user account address. So if I show this source view, they are more organized. So you will see that this anonymous attempt using FTP server is also recorded. Well, the first impression, what we can get out of it is that this is a typical log poisoning challenge. Since we have access to the logs, what we can do is we can inject a malicious input, let's call it, into this log file, and this can get executed and show us the output of this command or system commands, such as who am I, ID, and ls. And then if that works, we can then uh, try to inject a new malicious code that includes a reverse shell uh, commands, and we can get the full control of this target using this reverse shell. So let's now um, try to log into the FTP website, and instead of inserting anonymous as the username, we can insert a malicious simple code, this well-known PHP code. And let me go to the we can keep it there in case we may need to go back. We can go to this FTP 10.10.138 138.4. That's the web. Okay. So instead of just answering or writing the anonymous or username, we can put this command here. It's a get request. So C will be our really command prompt. So if I run it and the password here, I can show you on the logs side that okay. So we have this um, basically we have this command prompt of web server, so we can execute any command or any system command we like. So this is the address now. So I can put a query, and C, for C we can put who am I, and log. It says that we are data. So it is the least privileged user account or service account. So we can't go far with that, but we can use it to escalate horizontally and then vertically for further privileges or root privileges. Well, now that it works, what we can do is we can look at also the directory. It should be the pwd, should be the HTML directory or www.html. Okay, so what we can do now is we can try to have full control of that machine through a reverse shell. So I will open a reverse shell generator, such as this one is bash tag I, and this is my VPN IP. We can use port 5555. So we need to put maybe bash execution here for this whole string. Okay, so this is really what we have to run, and we cannot directly insert it into the address bar because it has forward slashes and single quotes. It will not go through directly, so we need to encode it, and we can use Burp Suite for encoding it. It has this functionality which we can we don't need to proxy or include anything, so we can go to decoder and paste the code, and we can encode it as a URL, and that's the uh, encoded version of this reverse shell script. Now I can go back to this website here, and we can just paste the code. But before we do that, I think I need to open up a listener on port 5555. it is listening there. So let me enter it. Okay, log. Okay, with that we get a callback from the listener. Okay, it works. Now, what we can do, and I think it's the data. Okay, the username. So what we can do is we can go to this home directory and ls. So we can see that there is a username called Adric. Now we need to find a way to uh, escalate from data service account to Adrian user account. So if I do this ls long list on Adrian, okay, so we have a bunch of directories and files here. So this reminder is where we can utilize here. So I will cut out this reminder. Okay, this is a cryptic message basically. It is telling us here that we will apply some rules and rules of best of 64 and here plus is appending process. So we are appending an exclamation symbol to that password. Well, these rules are discussed on the on the Hashcat website. Let me open it here. Okay, I don't need the verb suite anymore. Yes. Okay. So Hashcat has a rule-based attack description website. It shows us here, for example, that you can append a character uppercase X, for example, to the end by using this dollar symbol. Here you have this dollar symbol for 1 and 2. So 1 and 2 are appended to the end of the password, origin password. And the rule of 64, I can open up here. Let me go to this um, Hashcat, so Hashnet here. Okay, we can use a new website. So we can go to this um, Hashcat. I'm sorry, I make a mistake here. We can go to this CD user share. All right, and then Hashcat. All right, and then there should be rules. All right, so these are the rules available on Hashcat and the base 64 can, oh, sorry, best 64. That is a uh, number of rules applied back to back, and these are really to permute the words uh, using different algorithms or different considerations, basically. Now, what we need to do here is we need to use um, this rules argument on this hashcat, and we can generate a set of passwords following these two rules of best 64 and rules of and appending exclamation symbol. Um, so if I go to this directory that I'm working on, okay, what I can do first is I can echo this word here, that is the initial password, and we can append it to a list called pass list. All right. Well, this pass list now, it is just one word, but what we will do is we will be using these two rules best of 64 and append exclamation rules, and come we will be coming up with uh, permutation sets of the initial password we have. Now, we need to also put together this rule for the exclamation symbol, because that best of 64 is available on the built-in rules, but I don't see this exclamation one available. So what we can do is we can generate a file called exclamation dot rule and nano exclamation rule. What we have to do is we have to use $ and exclamation mark, exit, save, yes. All right. So let's see the exclamation rule here. Okay, it's done. So what we need to do now is we need to use this Hashcat syntax such that we will first use this original pass list, and we will be applying two rules back to back. The first one is this best of 64 rule, Hashcat, and then best. Is that the best? Yeah, USSR. Okay, I need to put rules first and then, okay, now best of 64. And then I will apply another rule, and I call it exclamation uh, appending rule. And then what we will do is we will take the standard out and append it to pass list. We have to be careful with the redirection symbol here. We need to use two redirection symbols to append it without erasing the existing uh, strings or the passwords in the pass list. So with that, it should work. And let's see what we get out of it. Okay, so cut out the pass. Okay, now we have this list um, expanded to include the best of 64 rule and exclamation append rule. Now, what we can do is we can use Hydra to brute force this SSH credentials, basically. So we know that the username is Adrian, so we can do this Hydra. Okay, so our username is Adrian, we know that. And our password, I will use uppercase P, and we will be using this pass list that we just generated. All right. And the IP address is 10.10.138.4. And we will be brute forcing the SSH account. That should work as SSH. Okay. So this is the username, and we use this list for the brute forcing the password, IP address, and SSH account. All right. That should start, or it's already started. It's now trying the password, and now we get the password. Okay, so this password is the SSH password. So what we can do is we can start an SSH session here, or uh, we can move horizontally to this admin account. So as suadmin, it will ask for the password, paste. Let's see, who am I? Okay, Adrian. So let's try to upgrade the shell. So which Python 3? Okay, we have Python 3 here. So I can copy this generic code to upgrade the shell. Okay, and then str echo fg. um, and export term external. Okay, so we are in the admin account, and if I list down the content, I can see the username. So I think I should be able to reach to the username, and that's the password. Okay, it works. Now we need to get this root flag. So in order to get the root flag, let's go, sorry, let's go to the content on the directory. Um, so there are a bunch of files and directories here, but the things that are interesting for us are these two. Let's cover them first. Here we have this punch list and a script. So this punch, so let me cut out this punch .sh. That is basically a bash script, all right? And this bash script here is owned by the root, all right? Basically, it echoes this string here and goes to the date binary, puts the hour and minute, and appends everything to the punch in. Right? And the punch in is, I can, it is a number of lines where it has this punching at text and then the hour and minutes. So if you look at the minutes, it's basically a cron job taking place every minute. We know that. Okay. Now, out of the two, the script is owned by root, but this list is by admin, which we are logged in as. We are admin on the system. Well, one other uh, directory that we can take a look is when we go to this FTP site. So I'll say CD, FTP, and ls. We have also files, CD, okay, and then the content here, we have notes and a script. They are both owned by the admin. Okay, so let's read out the read notes. Sorry, notes. Okay, so here the admin user is complaining about this admin, and because the admin wants the user to check in every minute, and even asking the user admin to write the script on his behalf. And then if you look at the script, that is basically again a bash sh script, bean sh script. Basically, it executes this sh and and first takes the line on the punch in file, echoes the lines, and then executes them using bean sh. Um, well, what we can do is we can go back to this um, we can go back to this punch in file, and here we can add a line, and this line can include a comment that can be can be executed by the root. In fact, if you remember the content of the script, that line is taken and executed using bin sh under root privileges. So we can add a SUID privilege by adding a line, and that line can include a change permissions line. So here we can add this SUID privilege on this chmod command, and once it is executed by the root, we can hope that the privileges will not be dropped, and this will help us to continue on this machine as root user. Right? Now, what we can do here is I can go all the way, sorry, I can go all the way down. What I need to do first is I need to okay. I'm not saying anything, so I think I had a mistake on this upgrading. So stty raw echo and fg and export term term. All right. Let me retry everything here. That's to upgrade the shell. All right. Okay. What I can do then is I can. It's difficult for me to upgrade this shell, which is originally from the step data, and for this terminal. What I can do is I can open up a new terminal and do this SSH connection for user Adrian, and the IP address is 10.10.138.4, and okay, what I will do is I will SSH Adrian at 10.10.138.4. All right, yes, and for the password I have it over here. Copy and paste, enter. All right, so that is a better shell. Now, PW, okay, so I can do this. I can come back to the discussion again. So my point was that this punch-in file is automatically written. So we can put a line here, a new command, and this new command can include a change permission command. We can do chmod plus s, which is giving us the SUID privilege. And the root user root account will execute it using bin sh, and the privilege will be changed. And then, as I discussed with you earlier, we will hope this elevated privileges will stay and we will continue as the root user. All right. So we will start with adding this SUID in the punch file. But before I go there, what we can do is, or I can do that directly. So nano punch. So I can go towards the end, and I can put this $ chmod plus s, and I will be u plus s, so the user, and I will use it for the bean bash. Okay. All right. Now cat punch. All right. So we have this command here. So what we can do is I can go to this ls la bean bash. Okay, so you will see now that this command has been executed, and I have this S here for the SUID privileges. Now I can just run it with TechP. What was that? So I can do USR, no, the bean bash and TechP. Okay, I just had to have this slash remove. So basically, bean bash techp lets the bash getting executed with this elevated privileges. Therefore, if I do who am I, it will show us as the root, and we are in this admin user, so we can go to this root directory and cd root ls. Okay, we have the cat root file here. Okay, so that is the flag for the root account. Okay. Well, this was not a very difficult lab. The challenge was that we had to um, first do this log poisoning attempt to get a reverse shell for us to gain a foothold as a service account, that data. And then in there, we saw a cryptic message. And by decrypting that, we were able to get the password for the admin account. And we moved the admin account using the SSH credentials. Then we elevated the privileges by using this SUID, adding the SUID on the punching file, and it get executed using the bean sh by the root account, and that privilege stayed on this user admin. Then we were able to continue and get the root flag. Thanks for your time.